Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to Nancy Drew, the White Wolf of Icicle Creek, where we need to... Let's see. Keep an eye out for clues and... Oh, call Guadalupe. Yeah, we need to call her. And... add paprika. This I won't...
Still need to do that.
Yeah, this I won't be doing. Didn't mean to click it, sorry. Find the bone that's missing from the display. Call the phone number that was on that weird spiky thing I found in the hut. Oh yeah, the mystery number. Get an item from each of my suspects. Right, probably in the morning when I clean the rooms, I can swipe something from them. Let's call Guadalupe. The number is in here. Phone numbers. Guadalupe, there we go. 213-555. 3264.
Hello?
Miss Camillo, hi, it's Nancy Drew from Icicle Creek Lodge.
Yes, hello. Is the wolf all right?
Well, Ollie hasn't succeeded in shooting or trapping it yet, if that's what you mean. But I'm not going to tell you any more until you tell me who you really are.
All right. I'm a member of Run and Grow Free. As you may or may not know, that's an organization dedicated to the protection of wild animals. I went to the lodge to make sure nothing happened to that wolf. See, we're trying desperately to arrange to have it captured and transported to a sanctuary. But so far, all the ones we've contacted are full. And unless and until we find a place for it, all we can do is try to protect it. Now tell me more about the contact you've had with the wolf.
Okay.
After I was buried by an avalanche, it dug a hole in the snow so I could escape.
It may have sensed you were in trouble, or its behavior may have been totally random. But either way, the fact that the wolf didn't simply run away from you is very bad news.
It is?
Wolves and humans simply do not mix. While wolves may appear to be similar to dogs, behaviors that have been bred out of dogs after thousands of years of domestication are still instinctive to wolves. Training a wolf to behave like a dog may mask those instincts, but it cannot eradicate them. For that reason, no matter how sociable the wolf may appear, instinct can at any moment rear its ugly head with devastating results for any humans involved and for the wolf. Especially for the wolf, who will have simply been doing what comes naturally.
So the fact that this wolf doesn't seem to be that afraid of people could lead people to think they don't have to be afraid of it.
Precisely. It could make them forget that all wolves are, first and foremost, wild. And while we're on the subject, do not ever give in to the temptation to feed the wolf. For one thing, a wolf's jaws are twice as powerful as a German shepherd's, and should your hand happen to get in its way when it tries to feed...
I get the picture.
For another thing, making the wolf dependent upon you for food would seal its doom. It sounds strange, Nancy, but the very best thing you can do for that wolf is nothing.
Are you the one who wrecked all the gear that was in the fishing shack?
Yes, that was me. I was afraid that Bill Kessler fellow would encounter the wolf on one of his trips out to the shack, and that it would end badly for the wolf. So I did a number on his equipment. I've done worse while working on behalf of Run and Grow Free. Believe me.
Oh, I do believe you.
So, are you kind of an expert on wolves?
Oh, good heavens, no. Although I probably know more about them than most people do, which unfortunately isn't saying much.
Things like what?
Well, I know that a wolf that lives by itself, like the one up there at the lodge, a lone wolf, if you will, A wolf like that is called a disperser. And I know that 95% of the wolf's natural habitat down here in the lower 48 states has disappeared. And I know some people, a lot of people, couldn't care less. But it seems to me that wolves have just as much right to go about their business in this country as we humans do. After all, they were here first.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about.
When you were here at the lodge, how come you had a magazine that featured Yanni Volkstaya in your room?
You're very observant. I read the article thinking he might make a good spokesperson for Run and Grow Free. But then I actually talked to him. At which point I realized that not only is he a raving egomaniac, but he's appallingly superstitious when it comes to wolves. I put an abrupt end to that conversation. I was afraid he might try to tell me that wolves had eaten his grandmother or something.
You know,
What?
actually, never mind.
Yeah.
Why can't the group you belong to just capture the wolf, take it out to the middle of nowhere, and let it go?
Because unfortunately, there's really no such place as nowhere anymore. We humans are, or can be, everywhere. Plus, wolves can travel great distances. Contact with humans would be inevitable. And since this wolf has obviously lost its fear of humans, it would be an easy target for anyone prone to shoot first and ask questions later. No, a sanctuary is the only place where it would be truly safe.
Okay.
What's a sanctuary?
It's a facility where wolves can live out their lives in as natural a setting as possible in the company of other wolves.
You mean like a zoo?
No, sanctuaries are usually not open to the general public. And while educating visitors about wolves is certainly one of their goals, their primary concern is preserving the animals they take in. Unfortunately, the more humans encroach on wolves' natural habitat, the more crowded the sanctuaries become.
Aren't there any government agencies that can take care of the wolf?
For the most part, and especially up there, wolves are considered to be pests. If a government agency got involved, it would take care of the wolf all right, permanently.
Aw.
It gets so cold here at night. Will the wolf be okay?
Not only are wolves built to withstand cold temperatures, but they know instinctively what to do to survive in extreme conditions. If they didn't, they would have disappeared from the earth eons ago.
Have you ever heard of someone named Julius McQuaid?
Julius McQuaid? No, doesn't ring any bells.
I think he's the reason why the white wolf isn't afraid of humans. He kind of made a pet out of her.
Well, in that case, I wish I did know him, so I could smack him upside the head. It's his fault the wolf is in this predicament. People should never make pets out of wild animals. Ever.
Why didn't you just come out and tell the people at Icicle Creek Lodge that you were there to protect the wolf?
Because I assumed, and quite correctly as it turns out, that very few people there would be sympathetic to my cause. Had I not been undercover, they may have tried to foil my efforts. Instead, I was able to foil theirs. For a while, at least.
Did you ever hear any explosions while you were staying at Icicle Creek Lodge?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I heard several.
Do you have any idea what caused them?
My first thought was that Ollie had completely lost it and was going after the wolf with explosives. But when I realized that even he wasn't that stupid, I assumed it was someone clearing an avalanche or a downed tree or something. While we're on the subject of explosions, did anyone ever figure out what made the bunkhouse blow up like that?
The sheriff says it was plastic explosives.
Wow, that's serious. No offense, but it sounds to me like instead of hiring a new maid, the owner of the lodge should have hired herself a detective.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you go.
Thanks for calling. Oh, and from now on, call me Lupe. I think you've earned that right.
Aw. What about the mystery number? Faringdale? Is it Faringdale? It's the only Let's see. 551 555. Seven 425.
You've reached the Farringdales, but we can't talk right now, so leave your name and number and we'll get back to you. Bye!
Oh, right.
I don't need to leave a message.
Nancy, why didn't you record the number here? Lou Talbot, Derek Southwaite. Yeah, she totally hasn't recorded the number here. Heard an explosion. Diary. Let me in on her secret. Okay, so we've read this. According to the diary I found in that hut, the guy who trained the wolf went to the local hospital and never came back. I wonder if someone there knows what happened to him. As I was leaving the hut where the wolf hangs out, I heard an explosion in the distance. Sure wish I knew who was causing them and why. Well, I mean, should we call the hospital then? Sure. 403 555. Uh, 4878.
Pinevale Hospital, Nurse Blake speaking.
Hi, my name's Nancy Drew. I'm trying to locate a man named Julius McQuaid. I think he may have been treated there on Christmas Eve.
Oh, yes, Julius McQuaid. I remember him well. Was he a relative, dear?
Was? You mean he passed away?
Yes, dear. Viral pneumonia. As I recall, we admitted him and he was gone less than 24 hours later.
Well, I wasn't a relative and I didn't really know him. We had kind of a mutual friend.
From his appearance, it looked as if he'd spent the last several years holed up somewhere in the wilderness. That's why I remember him. I felt sorry for him, living all alone like that.
Actually, he wasn't alone. He was with our mutual friend.
Well, that's good to hear.
You weren't able to locate any next of kin?
No, I'm afraid we weren't. When he came in, all he had were the clothes on his back. No wallet, nothing. We turned his clothes over to the authorities along with his remains. Last I heard, they weren't able to locate any relatives either. I'm sure by now he's been cremated.
Well, thank you for the information.
Sorry the news couldn't have been better. Goodbye, dear.
Okay, so was that the mystery number? Suspects. Oh, is the number in clues? Well, I mean, let's go through all of these categories one by one. Hard to believe that anyone could be... yeah, we've read that. We've read about Lou Talbot and Guadalupe's clock as well. Avalanche Patrol. Somebody decked me, yeah. Survey, yeah, we read that. Breaking news. Guadalupe Camillo admitted that the real reason she came to Icicle Creek Lodge was to protect the white wolf. But when it comes to the bunkhouse blowing up and to all the other bad stuff that's been happening all around here, does that make her less of a suspect or more? Is the number in clues then? A small crater. We've read that too. Survey. I found a notebook in the snow not too far from the lodge. The fact that no one here has said anything about losing it makes me think that A, it doesn't belong to anyone here, B, whoever lost it doesn't know they've lost it, and or C, whoever lost it doesn't want anyone else to find it. I'm leaning towards C. The wolf. Yeah, that's... Hey. Do I have that thing here in my inventory, the thing that's got the number on it? What's this? Oh, that's that. That's this thing. I can't even remember what it was that had the number on it. Aha! Okay. 334-555-7625. 334-555-7625. Three, 555 7625.
You've reached the office of Dr. Nikki Sabatini, professor of geology at the University of Alberta, Camrose. The sound of the beep? No, disregard all that. I'm here. Who's this?
My name is Nancy Drew. I'm staying at the Icicle Creek Lodge, and I recently came across some kind of device that had your phone number on it.
Describe the device.
Well, it has a spike on one end of it, and...
Well, I'll be darned. Where did you say you found it?
Well, actually, someone's dog was using it as a chew toy. She must have found it outside somewhere. You know what it is?
It's a geophone. Someone stole a whole crate of them from me when I was out on Skookum Ridge not too long ago.
What's a geophone?
If you stick it in the ground, a geophone will detect seismic waves and turn them into electrical signals, which are then transmitted to a computer so they can be recorded and eventually interpreted. It lets geologists like me make maps of mineral deposits and such without doing any digging. See, I was preparing to do a subsurface survey of the area using reflection seismology. I set up camp, stored all my equipment in a trailer, went into town for supplies, and when I came back, the trailer had been broken into, and all my geophones were gone. I was gonna be the first person to do a full geological survey of the Icicle Creek drainage and the ridges surrounding it. Got grant money and everything. The person who ripped off my equipment sure screwed that up for me. If I ever get my hands on him, oh!
You have no idea who it was?
It was snowing, so there were no tracks. So I don't know if he came by car or snowmobile or on foot or what. I'm assuming it was a guy, because he only took the geophones, so he must have known what they were and how to use them. And since not that many women are into explosives...
Explosives?
The seismic waves that geophones detect are man-made. You detonate something on the surface of the ground, and the concussion creates seismic waves which bounce off different geological features differently, depending on the impedance of the feature. The reflected waves are what the geophones detect and transmit.
So, to put the geophones to use, you need to blow things up?
Correct.
That's interesting. So, if someone were looking for valuable mineral deposits, they might use geophones to do it?
If someone had the technical expertise, yes. Although reflection seismology is more typically employed to locate deposits of hydrocarbons, like oil and gas.
What types of mineral deposits are likely to be found around the Icicle Creek drainage?
All kinds of deposits. Silver, lead, uranium, molybdenum. I love saying that word, molybdenum. I think that's why I became a geologist. Just so I'd have a reason to say molybdenum. Anyway, if you come across any more of my geophones, or anything that would indicate who stole them, please let me know.
I will.
Good.
What do you know about dinosaur bones?
Precious little, I'm afraid. I know it's possible to find good specimens in Alberta, particularly in your area. But beyond that, paleontology's not really my thing. And all my paleo pals are currently off digging in the dirt on the other side of the world. So I'm afraid I can't refer you to anyone either.
Are dinosaur bones good for anything?
Other than studying? If you're a scientist, no. But because they're obviously rare, a lot of people collect them. In fact, I understand there's a pretty big black market for them.
Black market? You mean people pay money for dinosaur bones?
People pay big money for them.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for answering my questions.
One more thing. All of my geophones were hardwired to transmit at 990 kilohertz. So if you find any kind of receiver tuned to that frequency, check it out, because it could very well belong to the thief. Bye!
Okay. Well, I think that's all of our phone calls made. So I'm ending this episode here. And then in the next one, actually, before I end it, let's check off some things. Call the phone number, done.
Been there, done that.
Find the bone, not done. Call Guadalupe, done.
Been there, done that.
And I guess that's that, actually. Didn't really accomplish all that much. But we did get a lot more info though, didn't we? So I think it's been a somewhat fruitful episode at least. But yeah, for now, thank you so much for watching and spending a little of your time with me here today. It was lovely to have you. Please remember to be kind to yourself. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you again next time.